Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted, as always, to be joined by Owen McKendry. We're in final prediction mode here, but before we get into final predictions, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share our content. We've got you covered from all angles with our boxing content, whether it's big fight breakdowns, interviews with fighters, final predictions, previews, reviews, you name it, we've got you covered. So yeah, as I mentioned, this video is all about final predictions, and we're in London tonight, the big main event between Joe Joyce and Derek Chisora, but we are in fact going to the co-main event for this video. We are talking about the super bantamweight contest between Dennis McCann and Ionut Baluta, a rematch. Oh, and I believe you and I might have even spoken about this fight before. It's kind of ringing a bell. But without further ado, we'll kind of come on to more in-depth analysis and predictions afterwards. But tell me how this one goes down in your opinion. How does the rematch go between Dennis McCann and Ionut Baluta tonight?
I've thought long and hard about this one. And I just think for me, without giving too much of a prediction, I think Ionut Baluta's the sort of is boogeyman of the division. He's such an awkward, tough fight for anyone. I feel rematches don't necessarily play in his favour in this style fight. I think someone as young and hungry as McCann, I think McCann's got the best trainer in the country at the moment in Joe McNally. I think that his stable is ridiculous at the moment in terms of quality. And steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron. Do you know what I mean? I just think McCann will have learned enough from the first fight of Baluta's style, his awkwardness, and what he brings, and I think that'll massively play in Dennis McCann's favour.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I mean, we may as well just go to the predictions now. So I'm 99.9% sure what way you're going, but just confirm for the viewers.
Yeah, I'm going for Dennis McCann, and I'm actually going for Dennis McCann to stop Baluta late. Um, I just think there's a bit of needle in there, a bit of animosity. We've seen it in the press conference. Um, yeah, for me, I just think McCann now he's with Joe McNally. I just think he's going to be too good, too quick, too accurate. I mean, but I could very well be wrong because Baluta's such an awkward customer. We've seen him with Andrew Kane when Andrew Kane tried to go in when I was there live and tried to bomb him out, and Andrew Kane learnt the hard way of how Ionut Baluta fights. But I just think McCann's got so much to take out of that first fight, where I do think he boxed well, but I think he was rash. He was rushing in. He was looking for the knockout too much, and looking to hurt Baluta. And I think with McNally in his corner, this time older, wiser, all the cliches in the book, but I just think he'll have learned a lot from the first fight. I think McNally's going to keep him calm and steady, and get him to box. And I don't think he'll starch him. I think it'll be a TKO. But yeah, late rounds, Dennis McCann stoppage.
Very interesting, mate. Very interesting. I'll maybe ask you for one round prediction right at the end, just to put your neck on the line, see if you can.
Um,
I'll come to you at the end, but I'll give my 10 cents worth as well. Now I think, um, I agree with the man you have winning the fight. I believe Dennis McCann will do enough this time to win the fight. Everything you've mentioned is completely true, mate. Alluded boogeyman of the division. If you kind of look at his resume, right? Yes, he lost to Mick Conlon. It was a majority decision. It was a close enough fight. Made Conlon look pretty bad. That was when Conlon before Conlon had got beat. That was when he was on the rise. People were talking about him as a shoe-in as a world champion. The only one he's really been properly outboxed and kind of beaten pretty conclusively was Liam Davis. And look what Liam Davis has gone on to do. As you mentioned, Andrew Kane, he beat him. He beat Brad Foster. Even a few years back, he beat David Oliver Joyce at the time was a good win. The one that it doesn't really stand out on his resume, but now it kind of does is TJ Dehaney. He beat him. Who's TJ Dehaney fighting? He's fighting Inoue. Mental. So there's some good names on there, and a lot of them he would have been the underdog. You look at the first
Definitely.
fight against McCann, and I think, yeah, it wasn't a technical draw after an accidental head clash, but I think it was a very close fight. So a lot of things didn't work in McCann's favor that night. He was kind of complaining about the heat of the Eurocall in the small ring. I suppose it's the same for Baluta, but it just kind of seemed to get the McCann more. I think he'll overcome all of that. put on a bit of a clinic here. I'm going to back Dennis McCann to win the fight. I'm not going to say he's going to stop Baluta. However, I give huge respect to you, Owen, because if he does become the first man to stop Baluta, then yeah, we could be talking about a future world champion here in Dennis McCann for sure, because that would be a statement. But yeah, I'm gonna go Dennis McCann on points. What's convincing me is the last fight there against Brad Strand. I saw that as a 50-50. And when
Mm,
he picked up the Commonwealth and British titles, he knocked Strand down in the second round, I believe it was,
mhm.
and ended up winning the fight, unanimously on the scorecards. So he's clearly a puncher without being a huge puncher, I think, McCann. But I just think Baluta's too difficult to stop, and I wouldn't say he's past his best or anything. So I expect it to be points. But yeah, I also agree with you in what you've said there, mate, about the Menace winning this fight. You mentioned that you're going towards a late stoppage. If I had to say to you, right, Owen, here's 10 quid, you're allowed one round in which Dennis McCann wins this fight, what round are you going for?
I think if I had to do that, probably look at round 9. I think, like you say, in terms of the clinic and the way he fought against Brad Foster, I don't think Dennis McCann's going to go in and just starch people and ice anyone by any stretch of the imagination. But I think the way he fights, if you look at some of his earlier stoppage in his career, it's accuracy, it's timing, it's speed. So I just think it'll be a case of I think Baluta's going to come for war as he always does. And I just think if McCann can frustrate him, and if he can land, like you say last time out, when he caught Brad Strand with a great punch in the second round and dropped him, it wasn't a big drop, but it was just again a case of he caught him perfection at the time in the right area, and it took him sort of off balance and knocked him down. So round 9, a clinic of a performance, not losing many rounds, and frustrated Baluta is going to come on to some big shots.
Interesting, mate. Well, if you had a tenner and you stuck it on, it would be 28-1 for round 9. So maybe you'll maybe have to take a trip to the bookies before the fight tonight. Yeah, mate, I'm looking forward to this fight. I think obviously all eyes are on the main event for different reasons. Kind of you were talking about, fighters coming to the end of the career. This is very much still at the beginning of Dennis McCann's career, really. He's still only 23, 24 years old, but yeah, exciting prospect, mate. If he does win this fight, yeah, the world's his oyster, I think. I mean, I believe the European title's up for grabs here as well, so that would kind of be a bit of a statement. And then what's next? You would have completed Commonwealth, British, and European, and you got to be looking at world in the not so distant future. So yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts on this fight. What are your final predictions for Dennis McCann against Ionut Baluta, the rematch? I was going to say repeat a revenge, but it was a draw, obviously. So let's hope not. Let's hope it isn't another draw. But guys, yeah, let us know your thoughts. And please, as I mentioned at the beginning, do subscribe to the channel if you like all of our content. We've got you covered from all angles. And Owen, thanks very much for joining me, mate. I'll speak to you again soon.
Pleasure as always, mate.